Well, how's it going, everybody out there? YouTube, Google+, Facebook, Instagram. Chris Peters here once again, filming live on location with the Entrepreneur Power Hour. And I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend. It's Saturday, June 21st, 2016, or 2017, sorry. I hope you guys are really having a great weekend, and I wanted to come film a video for you guys today from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, another formula here from habit number 2, beginning with the end in mind. And before I get into this, what I've learned a lot through reading this chapter of Stephen R. Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is you have to begin with the end result in mind. Whenever you're going for a goal, a dream, an achievement of some kind that you really want to manifest, you have to begin with the end in mind. It's the same thing when you're putting together a house, or you're building a new vehicle, or you're doing work on a project, you're about to write a story, you're writing an essay, you're giving a speech, you're going to bake a cake, you're going to make a stir fry, whatever it is, you visualize the end result. And I think it's very vital that you learn how to do that with your goals as well. Okay, it's very important, because when you do that, what you do is you set your subconscious mind into receptive mode. And what happens is your subconscious mind's more in tune with your beliefs. It's more open to receiving whatever information and whatever ideas and sense impressions you're trying to give it to create new paradigms, new habits, new behaviors, and things of that nature. And I find myself learning to do this every day. I am learning the nuances of how this works. I'm learning all the different complexities of habit and how habits are formed and how new habits can be formed over top of old habits. And one thing I'll tell you is it does take time. It does take about 60 to 120 days for new habits to become permanently ebbed in your subconscious neural pathways, in your subconscious mind. And if you want to create habits of productivity, you want to create habits of achievement, happiness, success, whatever that is, you have to behave as that person. No matter what, you've got to behave as that person. You have to adapt the habits of a person who's already successful. And the way you do that is through changing your daily habits by taking action each day, writing down your goals, writing down the tasks you want to get done day to day, and taking an overall look at what your values are and what your beliefs are. And if you're a proactive person versus a reactive person, I'm learning to be more proactive, more in the moment instead of reactive. And I find that instead of self-centered or money-centered or work-centered or friend-centered or spouse-centered, I'm becoming more principle-centered. And when you come from a space of that, of that principle-centeredness, you, instead of reacting to things and letting outside influences control you, you actually establish control over the outside influences and what kinds of effects certain events and situations have on you. And I think it's very important for everybody out there watching this video to know that if you learn how to become principle-centered as opposed to all those other centers I mentioned, whether it's self-centered, work-centered, friend-centered, enemy-centered, spouse-centered, money-centered, work-centered even, things of that nature. Even there's some church-centered people that gain their value and worth from going to church instead of their principles. And so what I'm trying to say is, if you learn how to adapt your principles to your behavior, then you create the person that you're trying to become successful. Because the more your principles align with your deeds, the more integrity you will have, and the more you will come across as a person of integrity to other people. So remember what I'm telling you here before we start the video, and just adapt, adjust, plan, do, and review. And create these habits. Begin with the end in mind, okay? And formulate your plan for success. Formulate your day. Formulate your goals. Write them down, things of that nature. But what I'd like you guys to do now is just grab yourselves a pen, grab yourself a beverage. Let's do some personal development. And one thing I'm going to say is hopefully you have been reading along with me. I'm already at the end of habit number 2, beginning with the end in mind. And these are the application suggestions for this particular chapter of the book. So grab yourself a pen, let's do this. Application suggestions for habit number 2, beginning with the end in mind. Number 1, Take the time to record the impressions you had in the funeral visualization at the beginning of this chapter. You may want to use this chart below to organize your thoughts. Okay, so here's what the chart looks like. If you have a copy of this book, then the chart will be in there. Okay, so get a good look at that. And you can pause the video and you can draw up a chart like this for yourself and write your thoughts and stuff down in there. Hopefully you can see that. Pretty cool. Number 2, take a few moments and write down your roles as you now see them. Are you satisfied with the mirror image of your life? And for me, I am becoming very satisfied with the mirror image of my life. I'm becoming very satisfied that my words are now matching my deeds. I am becoming more productive. I am becoming more happy. I am becoming more principle-centered. I am becoming more ambitious, more goal-focused, more productive, those types of things. Number 3, set up time to completely separate yourself from daily activities and to begin work on your personal mission statement. So that's one thing I'm going to have to do, is I'm going to have to write down my personal mission statement. I do have a list of goals made, but a personal mission statement is different. And if you have this book, it'll be more explained what a personal mission statement is. I don't really want to get into it, or I'll be talking for another 10 to 15 to 20 minutes, and I'm trying to keep the video, under 10 minutes. So, okay, so number 4, go through the chart in Appendix A. So you'll have to turn to Appendix A, showing different centers, and circle all those that you can identify with. Remember, we talked about centers before I started the video, or the exercise, sorry. Do they form a pattern for the behavior in your life? Are you comfortable with the implications of your analysis? Number 5, start a collection of notes, quotes, and ideas you may want to use as a resource material in writing out your personal mission statement. So I think that'd be very important for me to start writing down notes, quotes, and ideas that I might want to use. And when I'm writing down my mission statement, things like, what do I really, really resonate with? What hits me really hard? Who am I inspired by? Who are the people that I want to help and have helped me? Things like that. Different inspirational videos I draw motivation from. Different successful figures in today's entrepreneurial world, like Les Brown, Earl Nightingale, Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, Joe Vitale, Jack Canfield. I could keep naming people. These are all people who are huge inspirations to me, okay? So I think it's important for you, if you're going to start a mission statement, you're going to want to create points of reference, notes, and things you can write down so that as you're writing out your mission statement, it becomes easier for you. Number 6, identify a project you will be facing in the near future and apply the principle of mental creation. Write down the results you desire and what steps will lead to those results. So again, Tony Robbins says there's only 2 things, excuses and results. So if you want to create results in your life, you have to literally live like those results have already happened. And by mentally creating that in your mind, you're actually creating it in reality. You just can't see it or hold it or touch it yet. But eventually, you keep creating that process in your mind. You take the action, you take the habits, the daily, what's going to carry you further to that goal. You take those actions every day, and you will manifest it. Okay? Number 7, share the principles of Habit 2 with your family or work group, and suggest that together you begin the process of developing a family or a group mission statement. So there you go, guys. That is the application suggestions from habit number 2, beginning with the end in mind, from this amazing book, and I will put a link in the video so you can go out and get yourself a copy of this amazing book. And it's been so great to really start getting into material like this, because I just want to keep reading more, I want to keep learning more, I want to keep growing more, changing, learning more skills so I can be of better service to others and help others along the way towards a better life of fulfillment, success, prosperity, happiness, joy, better relationships, better friendships, better business partnerships, just exploring and enjoying everything that life has to offer. And that's one of my main goals as an entrepreneur. It's not about the money. The money is part of it. Obviously, I want to monetize our content, everything we're doing. We deserve to be paid for our skills. We deserve to be paid what we're worth for videos like this and taking the time to help people out there online. But more than that, for me, it's a statement of accomplishment that I've made a difference in the world. And that's what the Entrepreneur Power Hour is about. We're about uniting the world of entrepreneurs, as you all know. So guys, hope you found this video awesome, inspirational, and inspiring. Awesome, inspirational, and inspiring are the same thing, but whatever. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the Entrepreneur Power Hour. We love you. We need your support. And we'll see you Tuesday night, January the 24th for the Entrepreneur Power Hour. We'll be releasing a trailer prelude video so you guys know what we're going to be talking about. And take care, never give up on your dreams, and help everybody along the way, and you will reach your goals. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Well, good evening, everybody. Hope you're having an awesome January 16th, 2017. I know I am. Chris Peters here, the co-host and the co-owner, once again with the Entrepreneur Power Hour. And I wanted to do another video for you guys from one of my book study courses that I'm setting up for our YouTube channel. We're doing an exercise tonight from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. And I just want to get a little bit into what habit number 1, be proactive, has been doing for me. I'm noticing that I'm reacting differently to situations. I am taking my time in certain situations so that I don't react in a way that I'm later going to regret. I don't say things as much as I used to without thinking about it, although sometimes I am still guilty of that because we are all battling with our egos constantly. And we know that sometimes we feel like we're right, sometimes we feel like we have the answer and that our knowledge is superior to someone else's, or that our opinion is more based in fact than someone else's, or whatever the reason is that we attack somebody, give our opinion, and kind of make them feel criticized or make them feel like their opinion isn't as valid or like they're not as knowledgeable or smart. You know, at the end of the day, what I've come to learn through reading books like The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill and started with the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. You know, it really doesn't matter if I'm right or said person is wrong, or if said person is right and I'm wrong, because we have to remember that if we want to develop a pleasing personality, we've got to be the person that people remember in a pleasant way. If we're going to be successful in business, we got to be that guy that people are talking about for 25 to 30 minutes after we leave the room about how wonderful we are, how great our personality is, how easy we are to get along with, how receptive we are to other people's ideas, experiences, knowledge, skills, those kinds of things. And we have to remember that the more we listen, the more we learn. The less we talk, the better we appear towards other people in terms of consideration, appreciation, and those kinds of things.